Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm Alexis Bro, the Fable Painter. Today we're going to be telling the story of Three Little Pigs. Now I've used an older version that has many elements that a lot of you might not be familiar with. And a little note about the illustration as well. I decided to do the Three Little Pigs because my youngest son has a somewhat unhealthy obsession with pigs right now. I have to say he is not happy with the illustration that I came up with. Part of being an artist is sometimes having a twisty view of the world. And when I sat down to conceive the illustration for this, I found that my heart couldn't really sink into pictures of little pigs building houses or outsmarting the wolf. Instead, my hand settled on the idea of the oldest brother, the one with the house of bricks, sitting in his living room years later, reminiscing about the adventure he had with his brothers long, long ago. And if you look at the illustration, some of the grown-ups in the audience may recognize a couple of things from the Freemasons. Now, I want to stay right here. I have friends who are Masons. My grandfather is a Mason. I'm only including Freemason imagery because a person who builds a house, builds with bricks, is called a Mason. And I like the idea of this brave, smart pig being a part of a Masonic society. So I hope that if any parents choose to explain what the Freemasons are to their kids, there's a whole lot of YouTube rabbit holes to fall down on that. But without any more delay, let's get into the story. The story of the Three Little Pigs. Once upon a time, when pigs spoke rhyme and monkeys chewed tobacco, the hens took snuff to make them tough, and ducks went quack, quack, quackle. There was an old sow with 3 pigs to keep them. She sent them out into the world to seek their own fortune. The first went off and met a man with a bundle of straw. He said to the man, "Please, give me that straw to build me a house." Which the old man took pity on the little pig, and he did give him the straw, and the little pig built a house with it. Presently along came a wolf and knocked at the door and said, little pig, let me come in." To which the pig answered, "No, not by the hair of my chinny chin chin." Then the wolf answered to that, "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in." So he huffed, and he puffed, and he blew the little pig's house in. But the little pig was fast and ran away before the wolf could catch him. The second little pig, his brother, met a man with a bundle of sticks and said, "Please, sir, give me those sticks to build a house." And the stick carrier also took pity on the little pig, and he gave the sticks to the little pig, and the little pig built his house. Shortly after, along came the wolf and said, little pig, let me come in." "No, not by the hair of my chinny chin chin." "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in." So the wolf huffed, and he puffed, and he blew the house in. And the second little pig ran away even faster than the first. Now the third little pig, he met a man with a load of bricks, and said, "Please, sir, give me those bricks to build a house with." And the man with the bricks took pity on this third little pig, and he gave the bricks to the little pig, and the little pig built his house. Soon the wolf came along, and just as he did to the other little pigs, he said, little pig, let me come in." "Oh, no, not by the hair of my chinny chin chin." "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in." Well, he huffed, and he puffed, and he huffed, and he puffed, and he puffed, and he huffed, but he could not blow that brick house down. When the wolf found that he could not blow the house down with all of his huffing and puffing, he thought of a different way and said, "Oh, little pig, I know where there's a nice field of turnips." "Where?" said the little pig. "Oh, in Mr. Smith's home field." And if you'll be ready tomorrow morning, I can call for you and we can go together and get some for dinner." "Very well," said the little pig. "I'll be ready. What time do you mean to go?" "Oh, at 6 o'clock. Well, the little pig got up at 5. He was surprised to meet his youngest brother in the turnip field, and together they got the turnips before the wolf came, which the wolf did at about 6. And the wolf knocked on the door and said, "Little pig, are you ready?" The little pig said, "Ready? I found my brother. We've gathered our turnips and come back again. We've got a nice pot full for dinner." The two pigs smiled at each other. The wolf was very angry at this. But now there were 2 pigs to be had. He became more determined. So he said, "Oh, little pigs, I know where there is a nice apple tree." "Where?" said the oldest pig. "Down at Merry Garden," replied the wolf. "And if you will not deceive me, I will come for you at 5 o'clock tomorrow, and we can get some apples together, the 3 of us." Well, the next morning the little pigs bustled up at 4 o'clock and went off for the apples, hoping to get back before the wolf came. In the orchard, they found their 3rd brother, munching apples in the sunrise mist. They were happy to be together again and gathered apples aplenty. The youngest pig was up in a tree very high when he saw the wolf coming, which, as you may suppose, frightened the little pig very much. He squealed, and the other pigs climbed into the trees as well. When the wolf came to the apple orchard, he said, "Little pigs, all 3 of you, what, are you here before me? Are they nice apples?" "Very, very," said the oldest pig. "I will throw you down one." And so the oldest pig threw the apple so far that while the wolf had gone to pick it up, the little pigs all jumped down and ran back to the brick house. The next day the wolf came again and said to the little pigs, "Oh, little pigs, there is a fair at Shanklin this afternoon. Will you go?" "Oh, yes," said the pigs, "we shall go. What time will you be ready?" "At 3, said the wolf. So the little pigs left at noon and were there before the time, as usual, and got to the fair and bought a very large butter churn. When the youngest saw the wolf coming, they could not tell what to do. So they all got into the churn to hide. The weight of 3 little pigs turned the churn around, and it began to roll down the hill with the 3 little pigs in it. The squealing, bouncing churn frightened the wolf so much that he ran home without going to the fair. He went to the little pig's house and told them how frightened he had been by a great round thing which came down the hill past him. Then the little pigs began to laugh and said, "Ha! We frightened you then. We had been to the fair and bought a butter churn. And when we saw it was you, we got in and rolled down the hill." And they all began to laugh and laugh and laugh. Then the wolf was very angry indeed, and declared that he would eat up the little pigs one by one, that he would get down the chimney after them. When the little pigs heard the wolf scurrying up the chimney, the oldest hung his largest pot, the second filled it with water, and the youngest made up a blazing fire. And just as the wolf was coming down, they took off the cover and in fell the wolf. So the little pig put on the cover, and again in an instant, they boiled that wolf up, and they ate him for supper, and the 3 little pigs lived happily ever after together. The end. Now, I loved creating this illustration. Some of the bumps and turns, when I worked off of camera, I had to decide. The red on the chair really didn't work. There were some things that I wound up fixing that are different from the end of the video to the final one, but I'm happy with it. And if you want to know more about me, if you'd like to visit my website, it's www.fablepainter.com. If you want to find me on Instagram, I'm at Lexi, Lexi, Bro, Braud. It's not my fault, I'm Cajun and our last names are hard to spell. And if you ever want to get in touch, you can drop me a line at alexis@fablepainter.com. And look forward to next month. It's going to be a little bit different, a little bit jazzy, and all about Mardi Gras. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And remember, in the end, we're all stories. See you next month.